Hello, my name is Steve Orlowski.
My name is Stephen Phillips.
We are both construction science majors in A&M's construction management program. Um, we teamed up and we're doing this video for our explanation of Adolf Loos's essay on Ornament and Crime. One of the things that we kind of both agreed to was that, in our opinion, Loos had a disdain for superficial ornaments and buildings. And so what we decided to do was kind of look at some buildings in our areas that kind of reflected this. And so I'm going to go ahead and pull up this picture of Memorial Hall in Middletown, Maryland. You should be able to see it on the screen. So this building was built in 1919, and it was about 8 years after Adolf Loos wrote his essay. And you can see how this is kind of similar to the modern architecture that was impacting even the smallest communities. At the time, Middletown probably had about 2,000 citizens that lived in this area when this building was built. And what's interesting about Memorial Hall is a theater, community center, and a meeting hall that was built to honor the citizens in Middletown who fought in World War I. And what makes this interesting is in this architecture, you can see the building doesn't provide any information by looking at the outside that this is a memorial building to World War I veterans, which was different than what you'll commonly see in my area, especially on memorial buildings for like Civil War veterans or the Revolutionary War veterans. Most of those buildings would have ornamental friezes that went around the top that either showed major leaders in those battles or specific incidents that occurred in those battles to tell the story. So I find this interesting mostly because this building was built so close to the time period and influenced by modern architecture movement, as you can just see by its basic designs and its basic principles, and no ornamental design to it.
So again, Stephen Phillips here. I live outside of Kansas City, and so what I did was went to downtown area and found this building, which was the Kansas City Livestock Exchange, built in 1908 to 1910, still in use today as a office building. And I believe one side of it is actually apartments now, uh, but it just goes to show the American influence over architecture back in the early 1900s, which is ironically when Adolf Loos was in America from, I believe it was 1903 to 1909 or 1906, something like that. And so uh, this could be one of the buildings that maybe influenced him. And then right down the street from Kansas City Livestock Exchange is the Kansas City Power and Lighthouse building, or light building. It was built in 1920 to 1930, and it is one of the first skyscrapers in the Midwest. Definitely the first in Kansas City. And so you go from a very ornate building like this back to the same city as this is probably 4 blocks away, this building, before you get to the Power and Lighthouse building. So just two small examples in Kansas City. And if you ever get a chance, Kansas City's got a lot of history downtown, as I've learned through this little project today. So I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you, everyone.